dear students, hope you are all fine. In first video we have studied different components of nucleic acid, that is nucleotides. So nucleic acids, they are of two types, that is deoxyribonucleic acid, that is DNA, and ribonucleic acid, that is RNA. So in this lecture we will study structure of DNA. So DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid. It's a polymer of 4 nucleotides. These are adenosine monophosphate, guanosine monophosphate, cytidine monophosphate, and thymidine monophosphate. So we have already studied how one nucleotide is formed and how adjacent nucleotides they are held together by 3-5- phosphodiester linkage. Now DNA, you know, this is the genetic material of all organisms except some viruses. So this DNA, in case of eukaryotes, it's mainly present in nucleus in the form of chromosomes. Some amount of DNA is present in mitochondria and chloroplast as extranuclear DNA, whereas in prokaryotes DNA is mainly present in cytoplasm. The most accepted model to explain structure of DNA that was given by Watson and Crick in 1953. For this they were awarded Nobel Prize in 1962, which they shared with Wilkin. So these three scientists, they were awarded Nobel Prize in 1962. What are the main points of this model? Basically this model is for bDNA. Later on other categories, other families of DNA which were slightly different from each other, they were also discovered. So this was basically the bDNA. The main points of this DNA are that DNA is composed of 2 polynucleotide chains, and these chains, they are spirally bound in right-handed manner to form double helix. The backbone of each polynucleotide chain, backbone is formed of alternating phosphate and sugar molecules, whereas the interior contains nucleotide base pairs. Then the diameter of this double helix is 20 angstrom unit. 2 chains, they are so spirally bound that there is alternating major and minor groove. Then one complete turn takes a space of 34 angstrom unit, and there are 10 base pairs per turn, per complete turn. It means each base pair occupies a space of 3.4 angstrom unit. So that's why 10 base pairs occupy a space of 34 angstrom unit. Then there is always complementary base pairing. Complementary base pairing, that is adenine always pairs with thymine through double hydrogen bond, guanine always pairs with cytosine through triple hydrogen bond. Then each base pair, it's tilted. Base pair is tilted at an angle of 36 degree with respect to adjacent base pair. That's why in one complete turn there are 10 base pairs. That's why each base pair is tilted at an angle of 36 degree. Means 10 base pair, they will get tilted at 360 degrees. So one complete turn has 10 base pairs. Then two polynucleotide chains, they are anti-parallel. So each and every point will be clear to you when we will study the model. So these are the main points of this DNA model, that is Watson-Crick model. Now we will draw this Watson-Crick model, and we will also study it at the molecular level, how these two chains, they are anti-parallel to each other. So now just see. So this is one polynucleotide chain. Second polynucleotide chain, you have to draw parallel to it. So as these two chains, they are anti-parallel to each other, so here we are writing 5 3 dash. These are basically locations of terminal carbon. So this is 3 end, this will be the 5 end, this is 3 end. Now backbone of this DNA double helix is formed of alternating phosphate and sugar molecule. So here we are drawing a part of it, alternating phosphate and sugar molecules. So phosphate, sugar, phosphate, sugar, phosphate, sugar, phosphate, sugar, phosphate, sugar. So this is major group, this is minor. The space between two adjacent major groups or two adjacent minor groups, this is one complete turn. This occupies a space of 34 Armstrong unit. Now attached to sugar molecule, there is nitrogen base. If on one polynucleotide there is polynucleotide chain, there is adenine, naturally on the adjacent polynucleotide chain there will be cytosine, and there will be thymine. If there will be guanine, then there will be cytosine. So this is how base pairing takes place. We can compare this model, then the diameter of this double helix is 20 Armstrong unit. So backbone is formed of alternating phosphate sugar molecules. Then in the interior there are base pairs. Adenine pairs with thymine through double hydrogen bond, guanine pairs with cytosine through triple hydrogen bond. We can compare this model with a ladder whose vertical bars, they are formed of alternating phosphate and sugar, and their horizontal steps, they are made up of base pairs. So here just see, if there is adenine on one side, there will be thymine. If it is guanine, then there will be cytosine. So likewise. So you can compare this model with a ladder whose vertical bars, they are made up of alternating phosphate sugar molecule, and horizontal steps, they are made up of base pairs, and there is always complementary base pairing. So simply you have to rotate this ladder in a right-handed manner, then you will get this DNA model. Then at the molecular level, now just see how linkage takes place. this is the sugar molecule as we have studied earlier also. So here we are taking deoxyribose sugar CH2OH H. Then you have studied carbon atom 1 is attached to nitrogen base. For example, nitrogen base over here is adenine. This bond formation, it will occur at position 9 because it is a purine. Carbon atom 5 is attached to phosphate molecule. So this is the second nucleotide in the same manner. So we have already studied this linkage in detail. So for example, it's guanine over here and it's position number 9, attached at position number 9. So this bond formation occurs H, 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 OH, CH2, O, then it is P. So this is carbon atom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Carbon atom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this we have studied that this linkage is known as 3-5- phosphodiester linkage. So we have linked only two nucleotides. So this is one polynucleotide chain. This 3' end is again free over here. So you can join another nucleotide through 3-5- phosphodiester linkage. Now the second polynucleotide chain. So simply you have to invert it. Invert the sugar molecule. So this is carbon atom 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So it is H. So again there is glycosidic bond. So if it is adenine over here, then carbon atom 1 of the adjacent polynucleotide chain that will be attached to thymine at position number 1. So this is H, H, OH, H, CH2OH. So this is one nucleotide. Now we are taking up second nucleotide. This is carbon atom 1 attached to cytosine over here. In between them there will be triple hydrogen bond. This bond formation occur at position number 1. So carbon atom 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So it's HH, OHH, H. So in between them there is (3-5- phosphodiester linkage. So it is now 5- you can call it as 5-3- phosphodiester linkage. Now at molecular level, this is part of one polynucleotide chain. This is the part of second polynucleotide chain. Now the concept which we have to clear over here is that we say that both these strands they run in anti-parallel direction, and we have written over here 3- and 5-. As I have told you, these are the positions of terminal carbons. If on one polynucleotide chain over here this is terminal carbon atom 5, then naturally at this position there is carbon number 3. So that's why we say they run in anti-parallel direction. Now in this polynucleotide chain, this is the 5th carbon and this will be the 3rd carbon. So this will be the 5- end, this will be the 3- end. And in this polynucleotide chain, this will be the 3- end, this will be the 5- end, because this is carbon atom 5. So this is that how these two chains they run in anti-parallel direction. Then the second point to be cleared over here is that why purines always pair with pyrimidines, and why adenine always pairs with thymine, and why guanine always pair with cytosine. The reason is the diameter of this double helix is 20 angstrom unit. This much space can accommodate one purine and one pyrimidine. because purines they are made up of double ring, they will occupy more space. Pyrimidines they are made up of single ring, they occupy less space. So this much space is sufficient to accommodate one purine and one pyrimidine. Further, why adenine always pairs with thymine? We have studied their molecular formulae. The position of side groups is such that adenine can form hydrogen bonds to thymine, and guanine position of side groups, that is carbonyl group and amino group, is such that adenine forms hydrogen bonds with thymine and guanine forms hydrogen bonds with cytosine. So that's the reason that there is always complementary base pairing, and how these two chains they run in anti-parallel direction. So once again we can clear different points of Watson-Crick model, that it is made up of two polynucleotide chains which are spirally bound in a right-handed manner to form a double helix. The diameter of the double helix is 20 angstrom unit. Two polynucleotide chains they run in anti-parallel direction. Then the backbone of these polynucleotide chains that is made up of alternating phosphate sugar molecules, and in the interior there are present nucleotide base pairs. Then next important point is that the space between two alternating major groups or two alternating minor groups is 34 angstrom unit. So it means in this much space there are 10 base pairs, and one nucleotide base pair occupies a space of about 3.4 angstrom unit. Then one complete turn means in this part this helix it rotates at an angle of 360 degree, and each nucleotide it's tilted at an angle of 36 degree with respect to the adjacent nucleotide. Then this is that we can compare this model with a ladder whose vertical bars they are made up of alternating phosphate and sugar, horizontal steps they are made up of base pairs. Then I have told you why there is complementary base pairing and how these two chains they run in anti-parallel direction, because we have taken one polynucleotide chain over here. This is the sugar molecule deoxyribose. Carbon atom 1 is attached to the nitrogen base, carbon atom 5 is attached to the phosphate molecule. This is the second nucleotide, again carbon atom 1 is attached to the nitrogen base, carbon atom 5 is attached to the phosphate molecule. Adjacent nucleotides they are held together by 3-5-phosphodiester linkage. So this is second polynucleotide chain. So simply you have to invert the sugar molecule. So carbon atom 1 is attached to nitrogen base. So naturally there is complementary base pairing. Carbon atom 5 is attached to the phosphate molecule. Adjacent nucleotides they are held by 5-3-phosphodiester linkage. And here just see, if there is adenine over here, this bond formation occurs at position number 9. Adenine will pair with thymine. Thymine will form glycosidic bond at position number 1. So again if it is guanine over here, there will be cytosine. So they will be held together through hydrogen bonds. So this is the different points of Watson-Crick model of DNA.